Hey guys, this is Burt from Soft Tubes, and I'm here with another movie trailer reaction. And today, that movie trailer reaction is the final trailer for the X-Men Dark Phoenix film. The second last, I don't know actually. I was going to say last movie from 20th Century Fox, X-Men movie. Second last. Technically, they're both being released under Disney now, so I don't know how that works. Technically, these are the last two made by the 20th Century Fox. This is the last X-Men movie, technically. So, let's see. The last few trailers have been alright. We'll see if this one can really sell me on this movie. So, let's jump into it.
Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier.
Opposite mic. It's in the wrong spot.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
Oh. It's a pretty...
The astronauts, we bring them home. Go.
Heat signature's rising fast.
We gotta get out of here.
Where's Gene?
Sounds like he had a different voice. I mean, there's some space involved. That's kind of cool. Okay.
She should be done.
Nice chair.
Did you hear what the kids are calling you? Phoenix.
Okay, interesting way to get it.
Jean. Who are you? The better question is, who are you?
Something's happening to me.
When I lose control, bad things happen.
Wow.
But it feels good. That power destroyed everything it ever came into contact with. Until you. The X-Men fear you. And what they fear, we seek to destroy.
She'll kill us all.
Try.
The girl dies.
She's still our friend. She's not Jean anymore.
Really creepy Nightcrawler.
Threatening me.
That's right.
That would be a bad idea.
Okay. No, we're not gonna get a final thing. Cool. Okay. I did have to move my mic in the middle of that, so hopefully I didn't make too much noise. I forget to move it too often. Okay. This didn't change my feelings very much. Should elaborate on what I said before I watched it. I love the X-Men in the comics. They are probably my favorite superhero group. I mean, my favorite character out of superhero... My favorite character in general is Pixie of the X-Men. She doesn't get to do a lot, but I really enjoy when she shows up. And, like, there's so many X-Men characters I like. I like Cyclops and Dr. Nemesis. Like, I like all the strange ones. Dr. Nemesis and Hope and, like, I love Magneto and stuff like that. Like, X-Men are the reason I got into comics. I didn't like superheroes when I was young. I hated the idea of them. And then at Friends of the Family, I was watching X-Men. And I'm like, oh, I sort of had an understanding of them enough to be like, oh, okay, that's that character, that's that character. And then I was like, I am super into this. So I went out, and the first comic I bought was New Avengers number 20 because it had Magneto on the cover. So, like, the X-Men, even though my first comic was Avengers, interestingly, the X-Men led me to that. And it was just because it was the only one I could find at the time, I believe. So it disappoints me with what they've done with a lot of the movies, because they sort of push the we're feared and hated by general people angle a bit, but always in a clumsy, awkward kind of manner. That, I mean, the comics are not always the best at either, it has to be said, but I always find there's a bit more, I don't know, a bit something to the way the comics do it typically, even when they're a bit bad about it. There's still that little something that makes it sort of feel better to me. With the movies, I don't know if they've captured that. I think part of it is they keep pushing it into typical superheroics, which I don't think, like, I think can work every so often. I think most of their films need to be more personal, and then you have one film that's really big and super heroic. And the problem is, yeah, they've just kept doing that. They've just kept doing those big save the world, especially. Like, it's very save the world. Even when it's like save mutant kind, which is a very common X-Men theme. When they go big, it's usually save mutants. It still ends up being save the world as a whole for the most part. And I don't know, it sort of loses a bit of the... Because I don't know, the X-Men are meant to be the misfits that become a family. I just never feel that in these films. And... I didn't hate Apocalypse, I just was exhausted by it, essentially. And then I was like, well, maybe the next one will be better, they might learn, because they've done good films so far. But everything they've released for this so far have been like, okay, Sophie Turner looks pretty good as Phoenix and Jean Grey, like, it's not too bad. The guy, I don't know, it's weird for me, the guy that got a Cyclops, I forget the name of, ever since Ready Player One, which I was not a fan of, I really didn't like Ready Player One. I just found it was a noisy mess of a film. But that's just like, it wasn't my kind of film. Ever since I saw that, I've been kind of put off by the guy playing Cyclops. I forget his name, because he was the main guy in Ready Player One. It's a dumb thing, I know, but it's just something that's kind of put me off. Which sucks, because I was really keen to see Cyclops done well. And even if I wasn't put off by him, I don't think they're doing Cyclops well again. I think Cyclops is going to get sidelined in a film that... This is a film that should be about, to me, Jean Grey #1, and then Cyclops #2. Cyclops should probably play a pretty major part. Even if you have to sacrifice him at the end of the movie, at least make him play a major part up until then. But instead we're getting the X-Men Magneto thing, because it's funny that... For the original X-Men films, everything was about Wolverine. Wolverine was the popular one. And then when they rebooted, essentially, it became a Magneto-Xavier thing because they got McAvoy and Fassbender, two really well-liked, very well-acted, I don't know what the right word is there, but good actors. So they just focused the rest of the series on them, and then Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique, which in the process of doing that has completely ruined, well, not ruined Mystique, but completely missed the point of Mystique and the characterization of Mystique, and tried to make her just a constant anti-hero, always pushing towards hero. Even when they try, like, that was one of the worst parts about Days of Future Past to me, was they kept going like, oh no, she's going bad, but you always knew she was going to end up really good. There was no really question there. And it's just, they've been doing that every time. Every time she goes bad, she turns good immediately afterwards. And Magneto kind of does the same thing. Every time it's like, he's a bad guy, but he'll turn good, but then he'll turn bad again. They just keep on doing that over and over again. And it becomes a little tiresome. It's kind of like what happened with Loki in the MCU films, where it's like good, bad, good kind of thing. It eventually becomes tiresome. The other big concerning thing with this trailer in particular is how little new footage we get, which is a weird complaint considering typically when they release a lot of trailers for a big blockbuster like this, they reveal too much by every trailer showing too much new footage. Dark Phoenix so far has shown very little new footage each time. It's pretty much been the same stuff, maybe a few expansions on scenes, but not a lot. But then it still feels like it's giving away too much, which is a concern in and of itself. And then does this, it's like the stuff they're showing isn't all amazing. Like, cool, we see Quicksilver doing Quicksilver stuff again, but we've seen that 2 times already. And personally, I was over the Quicksilver shtick the first time, basically. Like, they showed it once, I'm like, that's cool, I don't have to see that again. And then they did it again. And I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, so it's basically a Deadpool 2 thing where Deadpool 1 had some really good jokes, and then Deadpool 2 did those jokes again, but slightly different. The X-Men film started going like, oh, people really like this thing, let's just do that again. And I hate it when movies do that. Like, it can make sense, but you gotta be clever about it. I don't think the Quicksilver thing in Apocalypse was clever at all. It was just Quicksilver doing that thing again. Especially because it's like, oh, we're going to play pop music while he does something in really, really slow motion, which makes him really overpowered. But then he never gets to use his powers because they just disable him really, really quickly whenever it's important that he could actually do the thing. Because I don't remember, what was the first one he was in? Was it Days of Future Past? No, it can't have been. I can't remember what one he was in first. No, it was Days of Future Past, wasn't it? Yeah, there was Days of Future Past was his first because they find him. And it was like, cool. Like, it all makes sense. And then I'm pretty sure, like, he just gets, like, taken out early on in the major fight. And then Apocalypse breaks his legs or something. As soon as it's like, okay, he could be, like, really useful here. Like, oh, no, he's gone. Cool. So they just do that. And it's just cheap ways to get rid of your powerful hitters. There's nothing clever about anything they've been doing there. And they might do it different, but it looks like they're doing exactly the same thing. We might not get that Quicksilver moment again with the pop music and doing something really, really fast. But it looks like at the moment he might be useful, he's just going to get sidelined. And I feel like that's going to happen to a lot of the characters. Storm was kind of prominent in one of the trailers, and then hasn't been in any other trailer, so I don't actually know if Storm's going to really fucking do that much. We can pretty much be guaranteed that Mystique is going to die, which is probably long overdue at this point. And then there'll be a big cataclysm where her ambiguous powers will threaten to destroy the world, and there'll be a fight. It might go well, it might go bad. I mean, I did see a thing that I kind of agree with, that the best thing they could probably do is just have her destroy the world. Because at least that'll be something. If you just have her defeated, it's gonna be like, okay, cool. And I mean, there's a few ways they could cleverly defeat her, but I feel like it's just gonna feel empty no matter what they do at that point. I think they need to do something different, and I just don't think they're gonna do it. And from the word is that the people who have seen it in test screenings, it's not great, which isn't a surprise. Because I think the biggest problem here is the director of this was like an executive producer or something on X-Men 3. Another movie that was an adaptation of the Dark Phoenix saga. So it's like, here's the movie they're really bad at doing that job. Let's give one of the guys involved with that another shot to do it, which is a strange logic. And then there's a lot of things here that look pretty similar. She's wearing a trench coat again, and she's got the line thing going that I vaguely remember from X-Men 3, so we'll see whether there's actually anything different. I don't know. I want to be excited. I love X-Men. This is not doing it for me so far, and I hate that. I hate that it's not doing anything for me. I want to at least be able to go, like, it was enjoyable, but I'm just so worried it's not going to be. Apocalypse took the last bit of faith I had in the possibility of them doing something. Basically, all I relied on was like, okay, Deadpool could be good, and then Deadpool 2 was kind of like, okay, it's a lot. Like, I enjoy some parts, but I feel like they ruined Cable, and there's a lot of the same jokes. Cool. Logan was good, and it's like, well, cool, then it was a one-shot, basically, so that kind of helps. I mean, it would have been cool to see more with Laura, but then maybe they probably would have ruined that, so that's fine. So, we'll just have to see how this goes. When this come out, June 7th. Okay, so we got a little bit to go. It's interesting, this is the final trailer, considering it's in theaters on June 7th. So, that actually concerns me a little bit, too. The fact that there's not another, like, this is the final trailer, and we're, what, 2 months out of that? I don't know. Like, Endgame just put out a final trailer within a month, basically. This is concerning to me. I mean, there'll be lots of TV spots and stuff, I suppose. I don't know. I hate that I'm just not excited at it. Or not that I'm not excited, that I'm not more open to this film than I am. That I'm so pessimistic. I don't like it. I don't like being pessimistic about films before they've come out. But this one's not really getting me out of that sort of slump. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking of Dark Phoenix if you're keen for it. I know there are people that are still really keen for this movie. This is one where I would love to hear from people who are and see what they're kind of like, why they're excited, what they're seeing that, I don't know, maybe it's just my brain is just not connecting with this on a way that it could. And that's entirely me. It doesn't necessarily mean the movie's going to be bad. That could just be me. So I'd be interested to see from people who are getting something from it that goes like, yeah, that connects for me. And then, yeah, as always, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, you hit the dislike button. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new. And if you want to make sure you keep up on all of the videos and reactions and all that, make sure you hit that bell to ding-a-ding. And, yeah, again, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Yes. Oh, that moment. Yes. Oh, fucking put it in.
Our very strength
fuck.
Rights challenge. Challenge.